What is up, Man Hour Nation? It never surprises me of how stupid some individuals can be in this great world that we live in. And it goes no further than Patriots cornerback Jack Jones. Jack Jones was arrested over the weekend for weapons charges because he had two loaded guns in carry-on luggages as he tried to board an airport. My man, one thing's first. Do you not see the signs all over the airport that said no guns? Like, what in your right mind thought that you could take two loaded guns, put them in a carry-on luggage bag, get on an airport, get on a plane, and be okay? Jack Jones, you have to be the dumbest individual out there. It is almost that time when, what was the football player's name? He put like weed in like a bottle and they thought that, hey, they won't notice it. I can't remember his name because that's how stupid he was. Jack Jones, my man, get through your freaking head. You are a high-profile athlete. Yes, you are only a second-year player. Yes, you are a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I get it. But be smarter than the average bear. Matter of fact, be smarter than my freaking 5-year-old. He sees the signs. He's like, oh, we're not supposed to do that, Daddy. Don't do it. Come on, Jack Jones. You are better than that. You are better than that, my man. NFC East breakdown coming up, guys, right after the intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that then. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that. Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs. You know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA. We the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. So to head to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Check out the blog section as well. We got new blogs. We got new merch over there as well. My man Pat is getting ready to drop some more merch this week. Guys, check it out. It is lovely. It's very mucho lo gracias. I don't know how to speak Spanish, but we say it's fresh. It's fresh. It is clean, and it is endorsed by me because I sometimes feel like I feel good and pretty and stuff. I don't know. I'm in a hoodie and a t-shirt and some slides. That's me 24/7, baby. Unless I'm at work, then I gotta put on the slacks and a polo and look all pretty and stuff. It's stupid. But guys, what is up? It is Monday edition of here at manhourradio.com. We are not going to do Way or No Way today. We are going to break down the infamous NFC East. The 2023 season is loaded full of possibilities, and we are going to break down the NFC East today. And we are going to start with the New York Football Giants. That's right, guys. The New York Football Giants went 9-7-1 last year, winning a wild card game over the Minnesota Vikings and getting throttled in the divisional game versus the Philadelphia Eagles, 38-7. The New York Football Giants started off very, very hot in 2022, and they stumbled to the finish line to kind of just sneak into the playoffs. Let's just be honest about it. This offseason has kind of been meh, right? A little bit of meh. It's been so meh that Saquon Barkley doesn't even know if he wants to be a part of the franchise. Daniel Jones signed that $40 million deal. And Saquon Barkley is not on the team as of right now. So this is what I'm basing my predictions off of, is it's without Saquon Barkley this season, because I don't think he is going to play on the franchise tag. So with that being said, guys, this season I have the New York Football Giants going 6-11. 6-11. Now, that's nothing to really snipe your head about, right? Because the first 2 weeks of the season, you start with dubs. You start with dubs over the Dallas Cowboys, and then you have a dub over the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are going to be a huge wild card this season. I don't know how bad they're going to be, but it could be historically bad in Arizona. But you open up the season with the Dallas Cowboys at home, then travel to Arizona, and then you travel to San Francisco, continue that West Coast trip, and that's your first loss of the season. Oh, you want to play some more NFC West teams? How about the Seahawks? Seahawks come to town. That is a loss as well, giving us a 2-2 record on the season. Then you travel to Miami, to Buffalo, unless another L, and then another L, and then finally get back on the winning ways versus the Washington Commanders and Sam Howell and the boys. Then you welcome the New York Football Jets into town. That is a loss as well. Loss to the Raiders as you travel to Vegas. Then you travel to Dallas. That's a loss. Travel to Washington, D.C. That's a loss. Travel to New England. That's a loss. Much needed bye week. 3 wins going into week 13. And then you have Monday night matchup versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, I think the Packers are going to be really, really good this season. Sorry about the camera all shaking. I got just the webcam set up today. That's my bad. That is a dub versus the Packers. You coming off a bye week, Monday Night Football. I feel like you guys can get some things going, right? Not so fast. Travel to New Orleans. That's a loss. Travel to Philly. That's a loss. Then you cut the Rams coming into town. That's a win. And then you get a week 18 over the Philadelphia Eagles again, because the Eagles probably had the division wrapped up at this time. 6-11, missing the playoffs this year without Saquon Barkley. Now, if Saquon Barkley happened to be, hey, I want to come in, I want to play, man, this franchise tag isn't such a bad thing after all. Maybe it's not such a bad thing after all. Well, 8 wins. 8 wins with Barkley, maybe. Maybe a win over the Saints, maybe a win over the Patriots. But let's just be honest. The New York Football Giants do not move my needle one way or the other. The New York Football Giants, yes, they were a playoff team last year. Yes, they won a playoff game last year. But look at that schedule, guys. The 49ers, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Packers. Their schedule does not do them any favors this year whatsoever. 6-11 is all I got for the New York Football Giants this season. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this prediction here. Javier's in the chat. What's up, Javier? He says Cowboys versus Packers. Is that going to be a NFC Championship preview, Javier? Huh? I could get behind that. I could get a little bit about Packers and Cowboys again. Samuel Gomez is in the chat as well. He says Packers for sure, baby. Drop it down with the Packers. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot, right? Love it, guys. Arthur Brown says Philadelphia Eagles are sweeping the Giants this season. Arthur, I would give you that. I would give you that, except for they play week 18. They play the last 2 weeks or the last 3 weeks of the season. The Eagles mean that like the Giants at this point in the season, they're just kind of like whatever. Let's just get through it. And the Eagles are looking beyond that point. And so this is going to be the week 18 matchup is going to be a game of backups, right? It is going to be a game of who has the better backups, and I think the Giants had the better backups in like at the end of the day. Now This was very, very intriguing to me, guys. So stay put. Notice the trend here, and I want you guys to see if you can catch the trend moving on in these NFC East games. Notice the split between the Eagles and the Giants. Notice the split between the Commanders and the Giants. Am I dropping a hint? I am definitely not dropping a hint. Wink, wink, ha ha. But next up, guys, we are going to talk about the Washington Commanders. This team is very, very confusing to me, just because just a couple years ago, my man Torrey Anderson sat right here and said they were going to go 13-3 with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got hurt like the second play of the game, and that season went down the hill really, really quick. Last season, they started off terrible. What were they at? 1-5, 1-6. Ended up with an 8-1 record. Kind of got hot mid-season, kind of like toward the end. No playoff berth. No first overall pick. 8-8, a 500 team. How can you be 500 when there's 17 games or whatever? We'll digress from that. I hate ties. Hate them. I hate them. But as of right now, Sam Howell is a starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders, and that is what I am basing it off of moving forward here. So right now I have the Washington Commanders this year going 7-10. That is a one-game digression from last season because their schedule is just, it's not as easy as it was last season. Let's just be honest. They played Houston, they played the Colts, they played the Bears, they played the Jaguars early on. It was not a very, very hard schedule. But week one, they do play the Arizona Cardinals, and that is their first victory of the season, and it's at home. Then they travel to Mile High Stadium, guys. Secretly, guys, Mile High Stadium is one of the hardest places to play besides Arrowhead. It is because the fans are actually really, really loud there. The altitude, and just you never know what kind of weather you're going to get there. It could be August and it could snow 12 feet or it can be 100 degrees. You never freaking know. But I given the Broncos that victory right there. Then the Commanders are back home to take on the Buffalo Bills. That is a loss. On the road to take on the Eagles. That is a loss. And then they get their second win of the season versus the Chicago Bears on Thursday night. The only reason why I am picking the Commanders to win this game on Thursday night versus the Chicago Bears is because it is a Thursday night game. It is a home game. Historically, we know how Thursday night games go. They are shit. Thursday night games are absolutely terrible, especially early season. So give me the home game every time, or the home team every time. Then they travel to Atlanta. This is a loss. Guys, circle this game right here. This week 6 matchup. This week 6 matchup is going to be telling for both of these teams. Whoever wins this game, I think, catapults to a plus 500 season. Whoever loses this game will be a below 500 season here. Obviously, I have the Falcons win this game. That's why I have the Commanders going 7-10 this season. Then they're back on the road to take on the Giants. That is a loss. And then, upset special alert, week 8, back at home versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a loss. Sorry, that is a win. They beat the Eagles week 8 after losing to them week 4. Then week 9, on the road versus the Patriots, that is a dub. Then they're on the road versus the Seahawks. That is a loss. Back at home, week 11, November 19th, versus the New York Football Giants. That is a win. Lose to the Cowboys at the Cowboys. And then they lose to Miami at home going into the week 14 bye. Wow, this team is struggling right now. A bye week needed to come out 6 weeks earlier, but the season's nearly over at this point. You travel to LA, you lose to the Rams, you travel to New York to lose to the Jets. Then somehow they pulled it out versus the San Francisco 49ers. Is it because the San Francisco 49ers already had the division locked? Who knows? Find out tomorrow. But they beat the 49ers and they beat the Cowboys to give their 6th and 7th win on the season, giving them a 7-10 matchup or 7-10 record for the season. That's definitely not good enough to make the playoffs, unfortunately. It just the Commanders are very. This is a team that could be super good. They have all the pieces. They have the defense. It's just I don't have trust in their coaching staff right now. Ron Rivera didn't even know they were eliminated from the playoffs last season. Like, how in tune is he with his team? How in tune is he with the young culture that is going on in the NFL? How in tune is he since the passing of his wife, right? Now, I don't want to bring that up into it, but it has to be said. When you lose somebody that has been your rock through your whole coaching career, you went through throat cancer and then you lose your wife, like how mentally stable are you at this point? Now, I'm not saying he is a terrible coach. I'm just saying right now, maybe he just needs to take a year off. Maybe he needs to step back and do I really enjoy coaching football right now? Because I think that is that is what is ultimately holding back the Commanders right now. So right now I have the Commanders going 7-10. We have the Giants going 6-11. Then we have a team that many are predicting that could be another Super Bowl team. Many people have this team thinking, damn, they are it, right? Last season, 14-3. Divisional playoff win over the New York Football Giants. Conference championship game over the San Francisco 49ers, and then a Super Bowl loss to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-35. And we are talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that is, I wanted to pick them to be bad. I wanted to prove the Super Bowl hangover theory. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. But their schedule is just very, very favorable for them, unfortunately. When I say unfortunately, I guess fortunately for Eagles fans, but unfortunately for me that wants the Eagles to be bad, kind of secretly, I don't know. But as I had the Eagles going 12-5 this season. We have them opening up 7-0. 7-0 to start the season. Wins at New England. Wins over the Vikings. Win at Tampa Bay week number 3. Win over the Commanders at home. Win over the Rams. Win over the Jets. A win versus Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football at home. Guys, that first 7-week schedule there, that is kind of sus. How are you defending Super Bowl runner-ups and you're playing a team like the Jets? You're playing a team like the Rams. You're playing a team like the Bucks and the the Patriots. All the quote experts, let's use that term very, very loosely. The experts have them going below 500. What? Yes, the Vikings should be a good team, right? I think I have them at 10 wins. The Dolphins will break them down probably later this week. It should be about Wednesday when we'll break the AFC West down. But 7-0 to start the season. Week number 8, first loss of the season. It's just I feel this is going to be an upset special. Week number 8, the Commanders will beat the Eagles. Week number 8 at Washington D.C. And then week 9, Dallas Cowboys come into town. That's a dub. Going into the bye week here. Then we got Monday Night Football. Nice crisp air. Barbecue smell. Monday Night Football. Super Bowl rematch of 2022. Travel to Arrowhead, that is a loss. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Coming back into week number 12, they do beat the Buffalo Bills. They do beat the San Francisco 49ers, and then they travel to Dallas, lose to the Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, and then they lose to the Seahawks, and then they get back on track versus the Giants, and versus the Cardinals. In a Week 18 matchup, they lose to the Giants again, giving them a 12-5 record on the season. Now, let's talk about this Super Bowl hangover. I believe wholeheartedly that there is a Super Bowl hangover. And it is proven out there the NFC East, or the NFC teams that lose the Super Bowl historically do not even make the playoffs the following year. Most recently, the San Francisco 49ers. Is just, face it. There's like, all of the questions this offseason have been kind of like, oh, how are you guys going to rebound? How are you guys going to do this? How are you guys going to do that? We've moved past it. Well, have you really moved past it? I am banking on that they have moved past it. I am banking on the fact that they have a veteran offensive line. I'm banking on that they have a very, very hungry receiver core, a running back, right? A quarterback, a young head coach. But I'm not seeing a deep playoff run this season. I'm not seeing another Super Bowl performance. I am not seeing even a wild card win. If they play the wild card, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. But I do have the Eagles going 12-5 this season. Arthur Brown says the Eagles are beating Dallas. They are beating them once. They are splitting. Have you noticed a trend here, Arthur Brown, Samuel Gomez, Javier, all the other people that are in the chat over on YouTube that aren't copying? You guys are watching, but you're not. That's just weird. They're splitting. They're not sweeping the Commanders. They are not sweeping the Commanders, Arthur Brown. The only thing being swept here is your Miami Heat. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about basketball. Well, I do. My wife was a great basketball player. Have you guys ever played like a game with your significant other and you're like, man, I really want to beat this person? Me and my wife played pig, horse, whatever you want to call it. She kicked my ass so bad that I had to tell her that I threw the game. Well, I lost on purpose. And no. I gave it my all, baby. I gave it my all, and I still lost. So, guys, we have broke down the Giants, 6-11. Pop that up there for me. There we go. We've broken down the Commanders, 7-10. We have broken down the Philadelphia Eagles, 12-5. No, good Samuel, we're not talking about bad basketball. all NFL talk. Now it's time to break down America's team. Now it is time to break down arguably one of the best teams in the NFC. It is time to break down the Dallas Cowboys. Put some respect on their name because the Cowboys are going to be very, very good this season. Unfortunately, their record is not going to be so good. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be a team that kind of skates by a lot of these games. Last season, they were 12-5. They did have a wild card win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but then they lost to the divisional, to the San Francisco 49ers, 19-12 with that debacle of a play. Let's just be honest. That was a weird-ass play that they ended the game on, but it is what it is. But they finished 12-5 last season. This year, I have them finishing 11-6. One game digress from last season. Not because they are a worse team. Not because they have not got better in this offseason. Just because I think the Dallas Cowboys finally have the long-term goal in mind. They are going to take a couple weeks off. They are going to, basically kind of coast. They are going to see the writing on the wall about week 13, 14. Like, hey, the best we can do is this. And so why push it, right? But week number 1, they do lose to the New York Football Giants at New York. Week number 2, they beat Aaron Rodgers and the New York Football Jets at home. And then they're back on the road versus the Cardinals, and that is a dub. Then they're back at home versus the Patriots. That is a dub. Beat the 49ers week 5. And then week 6, this is a very pivotal point in their season. They are going to lose this game to the Chargers on Monday Night Football, but it is going to be how they lose. It is just going to be one of those nasty, sloppy-ass games where you go into the bye week, week 7, and they're just bitter, right? They are just a bitter, pissed-off team. They're like, man, we are better than that. We've shown horseshit basically all season long. It is time to get right. And they go out there and they flex on the Rams week number 8. And then they travel to Philly week 9. That is a loss, but it's a very, very good loss. Close game, good loss, a lot of momentum moving forward, and that's exactly what they need because they rip off the next 6 games. They beat the Giants at home. They beat the Panthers on the road. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Seahawks, and they beat the Eagles again, and then they travel to Buffalo, and then they beat the Buffalo Bills. At this point, they are a super hot team. Everything is clicking, but unfortunately, the writing is on the wall at this point. They kind of know how high they can go, and the number crunchers and the bean counters start to crunch, and it's like, hey, we'd rather play this team in the first round of the playoffs, so let's just kind of give them a little bit of vanilla defense, a little bit of vanilla offense, and kind of milk our way into the playoffs, because we are in the playoffs. It's just a matter of what 4, 5, 6 seed we're going to get, right? So they lose to Miami at Miami. They lose to Detroit at home. And then they lose to the Commanders at the end of the season because the game doesn't matter at all at that particular time, giving them 11-6 record to wrap it up. With that being said, there are a couple games that are some toss-up games. This Detroit game and the Commanders game, if they decide to play those 2 games, they could easily be a 13-win team. But I don't see it. I don't see them playing those 2 games out, unfortunately, because, they would rather play X team in the playoffs versus Y team. 11-6 for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Guys, my pop-up chat is not working, but I do see your comments here. And Samuel says, I don't think they're going to beat the Jets. So, Samuel, let me ask you this question. Why do you not think the Dallas Cowboys will beat the Jets this season? I understand that Aaron Rodgers seems to own the Dallas Cowboys. I understand that the Jets, historically, seem to just play the Dallas Cowboys very, very well. For whatever reason, that's just the way it is. But this year, I think it is different. I think the Jets are going to be not very good. I think the Jets are going to be very, very highly overhyped all season long. And it starts with that loss versus the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. Arthur Brown says, lost to the Niners, Eagles sweeping, but the Lions lose to the Bills. Lost to Niners, Eagles sweep. So he says the Cowboys are going to lose to the Niners, lose to the Eagles, and beat the Lions and lose to the Bills. See, the Buffalo Bills, guys, Arthur, this is the reason why you need to tune in on, it should be Wednesday, right? Because today is the East, tomorrow will be the South. That'll be Tuesday. No, Thursday. Thursday, we will break down the AFC East. And you guys are going to be shocked. The Jets and Bills are not going to be very good. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're not going to be very good. Tune in Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll be sure to let you know why. I don't believe in the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. That was previously Samuel. Samuel says he does not believe in the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. If Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator, I would agree with you. At that point, I would not believe in Dak Prescott. However, Mike McCarthy knows the strengths and weaknesses of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a game-managing quarterback. He is there to not lose you games. Now, he will win you a couple and he will lose you a couple, yes. But that is because he will be put in positions where he has to do that, right? All in all, he is an Alex Smith, Tom Brady type of quarterback. He wants to nickel and dime you down the field, hand the ball off, run 50 offensive plays, and 30 of them be running plays. That is what Dak Prescott will excel at, and that's why Dak Prescott will be a top 10 quarterback this season. You don't have to believe in him, but you can trust in him, and in Dak Prescott, we trust, baby. we trust. So, guys, with that all being said, this is the NFC rankings as we have them right now. The Philadelphia Eagles will be first place, 12-5 with a 3-3 divisional record. Number 2 is the Dallas Cowboys, 11-6, 3-3 divisional record. Number 3, the Washington Commanders, 7-10 with the 3-3 divisional record. Coming in at number 4, the New York Football Giants, 6-11 with the 3-3 divisional record. Now, I did not plan that. It happened to come the way it came. So the 3-3 was all by total luck, guys. I did not plan that out. But I do have the Philadelphia Eagles repeating in the division. That is right. I had the Philadelphia Eagles repeating it as division champions for the first time in 19 years on a 12-5 record. Now, somehow the Dallas Cowboys can possibly jump over them by beating the Commanders, maybe beating the Lions at the end of the season. But right now, it is the Eagles repeating as Division East champions. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I have all these posted up on the old Facebook page at facebook.com/manhoursports. Of course, we will play the clips of these later today, so you guys can talk all your shit on there that you want. But that is currently what I have. What do you guys think? Let me know. Slide into those DMs. Hit me up on the old Twitter machine. But I gotta go. We got football practice. Little man has to poop. Bada bing, bada boom. Man Hour Nation, guys, rise up. See you tomorrow.